With the
And
Iran
it
war
should
coming to
be
an
it
end
should be ending
and the
pretty
recent
soon.
Mag 7 earnings, my portfolio has finally broken even and I'm even in the green for 2026. In this video, I'll be breaking down my whole 2022 portfolio. I will show the progress I have made, the dividends I have received, and the positions I have recently opened or DCA down into. I am the Robinhood investor, so let's get into the video. So we can now head over to my 2022 account to see the progress in this last month. So having a look at my year to date, I'm up over £400 or about 2.4% rate of return. Decent progress, especially after since the start of the year we've had the SaaS apocalypse, we've had the Iran war, and for so long I've been down. I think the absolute lows was the end of March, and I've finally broken even. Having a look at this last month, I'm up about £1,700 in profit, 10% rate of return. As the markets were down, I kept buying in, kept DCAing in into the high quality companies, and that's why I've been able to reach new all-time highs as the market has been able to recover. My total portfolio value is about £18,800, and I think at absolute highs I did touch 19,000. So we can have a look into my individual holdings. I'm currently sat on about £150 cash. Then my biggest holding is my S&P 500 ETF, which I buy into every single time I get paid from work. My total profit now is about 11%, which is £300 in profit, and this last month I'm up 7.7%, £230 in profit. Every single time I get paid, I buy into this. It's set and forget, which is why I think everybody should have some form of an ETF like the S&P 500 in their portfolio. Next up, we have Google or Alphabet. It is up nearly 35% in this last month. I can see this hitting $400 very soon. Now, compared to the absolute lows last year where I bought in, I've doubled my money now. And I'm not going to sell because Google is a company that I want to hold forever. It's like an ETF. It is such a strong company with so many different avenues for growth. Now, they're up a lot because of their recent earnings, which is very strong, with massive beats on revenue and EPS. And a big highlight was the growth in the Google Cloud, outperforming both Amazon and Microsoft. Now, another thing to remember is that this time last year was that people were saying Google search is absolute dead. It grew 90% in this last earnings, and so there is no slowing down, and the AI model is still growing. Now, on top of this, Waymo is doing well. They increased the dividend, and a lot of the private investments like into SpaceX and Anthropic have done very well. Google is a company I don't see selling at any time soon. And next up, we have Nvidia. Now, all six of the Mag 7s have posted earnings. It's only Nvidia that is left. But for the biggest company in the world, beating 15% in a month is still very big. It did also reach new all-time highs, about $218, which is very nice for my portfolio. I think it's made a big move up because of that all the Mag 7 companies have been increasing their capex spending, which means more money for AI. And remember, Nvidia is the leader in AI. They also recently hit new all-time highs, I think, because of their earnings from Intel, which showed how much demand there is for CPUs. This also affected AMD because they are a big CPU player, and people then realized that Nvidia is a leader in AI. I think that's why it's had a big rally, and I'm excited to see how it performs in the next couple of weeks at their earnings. The next up, we have Amazon. Now, Amazon again posted earnings on Wednesday. Again, very strong earnings. One of the biggest catalysts for them was AWS, with revenue growing 28% year over year, the fastest growth rate in nearly 4 years. Like Google, they have benefited from the paper gains of Anthropic and have made a lot of money from this. I still think that Amazon is still fairly undervalued or at an attractive price, and the future potential for this company is very strong. Up 26% this month, it was at below 200 not long ago, and they have really shot up in this last month. I'm up 18% and I want to hold this company for a very long time. I can see this being the first $10 trillion company just because of how big of a moat they do have. Next up, we have Meta. It is up about 8% this month, but after earnings, they dropped, I think, at the absolute lowest, they were down 10%. Now, down 10% after earnings, which I think is quite an overreaction because I think the earnings were decent to an extent, and I believe it will recover soon. Again, the increase on capex spending, and the street was slightly worried with a decline in daily active users, which Meta said that was down to the internet disruptions in Iran and restrictions of WhatsApp in Russia. The actual earnings weren't that bad. I do think this is a bit of an overreaction. I still really believe in Mark Zuckerberg. I still believe in the company Meta. There is potential if Mark does just cut out with the metaverse that we might see, a big rally. But until then, I'm happy to hold Meta, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for Meta. Next up, we have Rolls-Royce. It's been quite a roller coaster for this company. As we can see, it's down 2% in the last 3 months. It's up a lot this year, but in these last 3 months, up, down, up, down. I think a lot of this is because of the war, which has affected Rolls-Royce through the defense or mainly through the engines because less flying means less money for Rolls-Royce. But overall, this is a very strong company. It's a company that I want to hold for a very long time. It's down 2% this last month. They have just gone past the ex-dividend date, so hopefully I'll get a nice dividend payout from them soon. and I'm excited to see the future growth for them because they have SMRs coming up. We have all the various different aspects to have, and then the biggest with the engines. I'm really excited to see the potential with Rolls-Royce. Next up, we have Nebius. In its last month, they're up about 35%, and they did reach all-time highs once again, touching nearly $170 per share. Now, this company I'm very excited for. I think everything that I do hold in my portfolio, this is one of the biggest growth catalysts I see in my whole portfolio. I can see this hitting, three, four, $500 per share in the next couple of years, just because of how much AI will grow and how much the need for data centers will grow. Again, a very strong company. Next up, we have Zeta Global. 22% in this last month. It did reach $20 yesterday because they posted very good earnings. Now, I've been down quite a lot on this company. It is only a small market cap at $4 billion, but they posted earnings with a 19th consecutive straight beat and raise quarter. They posted strong revenue, rapid adoption of Athena, and this is a SaaS name that is still fundamentally cheap, and I'm excited for the future growth. People are overlooking what Zeta Global is doing. They're putting up much bigger growth numbers compared to these big SaaS names. This is a company where they keep beating and keep raising. Analysts have it as a strong buy with about $29 price target. My plan is if we see 40 this year, I might sell out. And I'm holding this for a short-term flip, but that's because I still see a lot of upside in this. Next up, we have Visa. Again, up 10% this month after positive earnings on Wednesday. Now, Visa is a company that is just like, it is a perfect company to hold. They pay a nice dividend, and as you can see, they keep going up and to the right. It's a company I don't mind holding and DCing in any dips, and it's holding for the absolute long term. Then we have Grab, again flat this month. This is an absolute long term play. They do post earnings next Monday, I think, and I'm excited to see what they do. Now, in the next, it'd be nice if it does run up to again $6, $7 where it was like not long ago, last couple of months. But I'm in this for the long term. They have such a large market share in Southeast Asia, so I'm excited to see what happens. Then next up we have Novo Nordisk. In this last month, up 15%, which is very nice, especially because yesterday Eli Lilly posted their recent earnings, which are very good for them with strong beats and raising guidance. Now Novo and Eli Lilly are in the same space and sector within the GLP-1 space with weight loss drugs and diabetes. Now, a key point from their earnings was that Eli Lilly's market share slightly dropped, which means that Novo has taken some of that, but they are still growing rapidly. So does this mean that Novo is growing even faster? I think they do post earnings in 1-2 weeks, so I'm excited to see what growth they do put up. I'm in this for the long term once again. They have a nice dividend yield, and I'm hoping they do reach those $60-$70 against shares because this is a very strong and undervalued company right now, and I am planning on buying some more. Then a quick look through the rest of my companies. This last month for ASML, the backup 8%. Again, what a strong monopoly of a company this is. I've nearly doubled my money, and I can see me holding this for some time. Then we have Robinhood. Now again, they're up 6% in this last month. They did post earnings, which is why they've taken a big drop. But this is a very strong company. I cannot see myself selling this anytime soon. A very strong growth company. This up there with Nebius, two of my favorite holdings in my portfolio. Greg's again, flat, not made much of a move. They go up, they go down. Hopefully they'll be able to recover and hit those £20 per share. But again, it's a nice holding and they pay a dividend. Nike has had quite a large sell-off. I think a month ago they did post their earnings. Hopefully they'll be able to recover. My plan was to sell come the World Cup if they were up in profit, so I'm gonna have to see what I do with this position. Feature Properties again up 6%. Not a very interesting company. They just do pay a nice high dividend. B&M likes to do the same. It goes up and down. It's not made much of a move this month. The rest of my holdings, there's a quick look through. I'm down on SoFi. Oscar Health, I'm planning on selling if they do have good earnings just because I want to get out of this position. But nothing wrong with the company. Hims is very high shortfall right now. Hopefully if I do break even, I'll probably sell out of this again. Having a look at my heat map for today, as you can see I'm quite flat apart from Zeta, which is up 6%, but this is deserved because it is such a strong company with strong growth. I do love this company. Then overall I'm up just under £2,000, which is about 11% rate of return. My current weightings per position, as you can see, my biggest positions are in my Mag 7 and then my S&P 500. But other than that, decent growth and decent month for my portfolio here on Trading 212. So having a look at my Robinhood account, I recently opened a Stocks and Shares ISA here as well as my Trading 212 account, just so I have two accounts in case anything does go wrong. And it's Robinhood, a company that I love, I've invested in, I made decent profit in, and it's a good company. At the highest I was up about 15%, but currently I'm up about 5% year to date. I've got about £1,000 in here, which is made up with Rocket Lab and ASTS. These are both to give me space exposure as we head towards the SpaceX IPO. Hopefully make decent profit, and my plan is to sell out of these this year. But again, these do seem like very strong companies and don't mind holding them for the long term. And then so far it was meant to be an earnings play. I was hoping to make some profit and sell it there and then, but I didn't, so I'm going to hold till I break even and then probably sell out. And then here we are on my dashboard where I track my whole investments. I'm currently sat about £21,000 in total portfolio value, about 11%. And you can see here my stocks, my crypto, which I'm down quite a bit on, and then gold I'm up quite a bit on. But I'm not bought anytime recently just because of the big move it's made. Here you can see my total market value and cost, the growth for all my individual companies, and then my portfolio value over time, and the makeup, my dividend yield, and all-time dividends. If you head over to Dividend Calendar, this tracks all the dividends I've received, and this month I made £30, my best month so far, taking my total to £123 in dividends. I got paid from VUSA, my S&P 500, a small amount from Nvidia, a big amount from Novo, then from Nike and from Vici Properties. Decent month in dividends, my best yet, and this is nice to receive these dividends as it will grow and compound over time.